We're going to have those 6 people, and that's going to be
Well, you kind
it.
of ripped us off of the hearing, of the public hearing by narrowing.
Ms. Gross, I'm
Listen,
telling you what
rarely
the
do we
process
have the
is.
opportunity to speak directly to you, and I think the community wants to speak directly to you.
Well, I'm telling you what the
So
if
I'm
you
going
don't
to
want to follow the
get
rule,
started.
you won't have any public testimony. Which would you
Well,
prefer?
you know what, you're going to have public testimony.
Regardless.
Members of
You
the
ripped us
committee?
off of the opportunity to speak during the public hearing.
For you to walk away from the community.
As we start, okay, stop for a second, and let me speak, you guys, stop for a second. Listen, when this meeting started, at the time this meeting started, another encampment was being raided and shut down. That encampment held 10 families who are on waiting lists to get into these services that you all are supposedly going to apply funding for. And it's a good thing that you're going to apply funding for these services, but they are not the answer. We cannot have people wandering the streets, sleeping on sidewalks in unsafe conditions while they wait a year or longer for these services. It is important that we allow encampments, especially the encampments, the 5 encampments that have been shut down the last week and a half. Some of them had curfews. Some of them had stores for people to get what they needed. There was safety built in. People form encampments because they need safety, and they do it in groups. And it is ridiculous to tell for the Minneapolis police to shut these. Listen to how they shut down the encampment on Bloomington and 28th. They walked up to the tents at the crack of dawn and sliced their tents open with a knife. Now, if you didn't like something I was doing, you couldn't take a wrecking ball to the side of my house and knock a hole in there. How the hell is the city okay doing this stuff? We have to stop the Minneapolis police from engaging in this conduct. This is unacceptable. I am fortunately not unhoused. You had your turn to speak. It's my turn now. I am fortunately
wanna make
not
sure that we
unhoused.
can-
I'm on my 2 minutes.
I want to make sure that we keep quorum, and I want to make sure that
I'm
we
on
do
my
give
2
this
minutes
space.
now, and I'm going to take them. And I'm telling you something now. The Minneapolis police has got to be stopped. You know, what is happening with what they're doing to these encampments is disgusting. It's horrible. How do you go up to somebody's housing, the only housing they have, the first night of the coldest night of this year, and you're going to slash the hell out of their tent, leave them without a tent, sleeping bags, their medication, their IDs, all of this. This is conduct by our Minneapolis police. I'm a taxpayer in this goddamn town. I am not okay with this. The Minneapolis police have to be stopped. And then when people are asking them, what are we supposed to do? They say, go get in a shelter. People are calling up the shelter hotline. There are no beds. There's nowhere for people to go. They told people, if we see you on 27th Street east of Bloomington, you're getting arrested for your existence. Not because you committed a crime. What do they expect people to do? Freaking vaporize? This is ridiculous. I am not tolerating this any longer. As the president of Communities United Against Police Brutality, this is an issue for us. We are not going to continue to tolerate the conduct of the Minneapolis police toward unsheltered homeless people. This is ending now. I want to invite whoever else wants to come up here and speak, and I don't give a damn about y'all's list. Come on up and speak.
Ms.
And I
Najad?
think next is going to be.
No, that's not how it's going to work,
Oh,
Ms.
yes,
Gross.
it is going to work.
Members of the committee, I'm going to move
name
approval
is
of the
Marvin
staff
Hayes.
recommendation to fund these funds.
I'm the sister of Marvin
And
Hayes,
I am
who
going
has
to ask
been
the
wrongfully
clerk to
incarcerated for
call
the
the
last
roll.
18 years.
At the same day that
I
you
tried-
shut down
I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Shut down 3 encampments. The Hennepin County, the
Council member
shut down
not-
Great River Landing, which held 32 men that were
I asked Ms.
paroled,
Najad to
and they were
speak.
working
Ms.
their way
Gross
out.
decided she
Now
was
we
gonna
have
take
32
over.
more men that are unsheltered homeless.
She's not
Y'all
speaking.
so seldom listen to what people have to say. Why don't you just try it for a change? People are passionate. They want to be heard. That's all we're asking. Just
We would love to
listen.
hear we would love to hear you all's testimony.
Go ahead, Marvina. Go
So
ahead.
my name is Marvina Haynes. I'm the sister of Marvin Haynes, who has been wrongfully incarcerated for the last 18 years. October 5th, at around 5 o'clock, I got a call that
To the agreement, we'll walk out.
30 to 40 of the formerly incarcerated men was being displaced with no resources.
We're coming behind.
Me and a team of organizers
Yeah.
reached out to these guys, formerly incarcerated guys, and were able to get them temporarily housing and also legal representation and new jobs, because Better Futures were employing most of their jobs. We have a list of demands. We need these guys who was displaced security deposits by Hennepin County Parole Office and Better Futures, who had a contract with Hennepin County. We need their deposits returned immediately. We need emergency funding for these guys. They were promised permanent placement through Better Futures. We need them permanently placed. We need mental health resources for this trauma that Hennepin County has caused these guys. And we need the policies to change, so if a facility is gonna close, these men have proper notice. They did nothing wrong.
Listen, Lisa.
They followed their contracts.
So you could have the respect to listen to people, you could.
They didn't violate any of their parole. Why did this happen? How do we hold Hennepin County Parole Office accountable? How do we get these guys permanent placement? Mental health resources.
Ms. Najad, would you like to take your turn?
I don't think you answered the question, though.
Yeah.
Ms. Najad, would you like to speak?
We're all together.
Come on, baby, come on up here.
And when you guys leave, we're leaving with you.
And I'm currently being evicted from your front steps. This is currently
Ms.
my
Najad,
home.
if you'd like to speak now, this would be your time. I'd ask the clerk to put the clock on.
So the reason I came out today is to listen, and I implore you all to do the same. And what's happening right now is evidence of how hard it is to be heard in this city. People should not have to camp on the steps of City Hall to have attention on the inhumane practices of the city, of the MPD, of the county, but that's what it's taken. People should not have to spend their time in this chamber trying to be heard, trying to make it through Robert's rules, right? To be able to have basic housing and their humanity respected. But that's where, that's right. But that's where we're at right now. So I'm here speaking to you today, both as representatives of business development and economic development, because the best thing you can do for the economic development of this city is to get everyone housing. And the best thing you can do is to reverse gentrification. And council members Shakhtai, Ellison, Chavez, I see you out there fighting. Council members Goodvin and Rainville, I know you have the ear of the mayor. You all have the power to create change here today. And it shouldn't take all of these people standing up here to be heard, right?
That's right.
And the last thing I'll say is, you know, it's budget season, right? Y'all know I'm all about the budget. And we had the CPED representative up here talking about $1.8 million for Avivo, right? Guess what percentage that is of the MPD budget? Anyone? Yeah. 1%. 1%. So how do we make it happen? You have the resources, you have the power. It's time to listen to the people. All power to the people.
All power to the people!
Is there a Mr. Dobbs here? Damon Hobbs?
Come on, you guys.
Mr. Damon Hobbs, sir? Yes, you're on the list next. If you'd like to say something, you have 2 minutes.
Hello. I've been homeless for probably 5-6 years now. My first encampment was 28th and Hiawatha. That encampment was there since 2018. And Metro Police Department decided to fence us. They took away our privacy, they took away our freedom, and they continuously shut down our camps. The reason why we're not being housed is because we keep getting swept by Metro Transit Police. They changed the laws, they decide to do whatever they want. They just passed a law saying Metro Transit cannot force us to leave our property, and they continually do that. I have a lot of property that I've lost. it's not right, it's not fair. We do know that we have to do better as a community, but we can't do it if we're forced to look bad, you know? Like, I don't know, it's just not right. And all this money that you guys talking about, it does not matter to me, because I'm not here for the money. I'm here for my respect, my pride, my freedom, and I don't have that. I don't have nowhere to go, because every time I put up a tent, there's a problem.
Thank you, sir, for being here. Ms. Groves? Please, you have 2 minutes. Thank you.
My house currently is residing on the front steps of this building. Right now, as we speak, everything I own, I don't even have shoes on right now, is being taken by the police. We are being evicted. We are given a notice that says that there's no camping or sleeping on City Hall property. I'm not camping. I'm living here because the city provides nothing in resources. I have been on housing lists for over a year as an unhoused person. In the last week, I've been evicted 3 times. Think about moving everything that you have 3 times in 1 week. I'm exhausted. All of us have a right to be housed, to have a place where we can raise our families, a place where we can rest our heads, a place where we can even just have resources available to us. But every time the police come, especially in the encampment evictions where they come in force, 100 officers with SWAT support, coming to evict a dozen people in tents who have nothing, and they take away every belonging they have. They have 5 minutes, they can't take their tents, which is the only shelter we have. People are dying out here. If you are at any of these encampments and you see what happens after an eviction notice, and you see the amount of pain and addiction that just increases to crazy levels, and people are dying out here because there is no support.
55 overdoses.
55 in 7 days.
3 people are dead.
And that is directly related to what is going on here. You are putting your money and faith in organizations that are not really informed by people who they're trying to serve. If you give someone something they don't need, is that a good thing? It isn't. It becomes trash. It becomes something they can't do anything with. You need to ask people who are out here what works for them. You need to find dignified housing that has nothing to do, that isn't dependent
Thank you
on
for being down
sobriety,
here.
that isn't dependent on
We're
these
going to
things.
move on to.
I have one quick question. Where can I go? I'm here. There is nowhere I can legally rest today. There is nowhere I can go to sleep. There is nowhere I can go to pitch my tent so that I have some sort of privacy, so that I can wash up. I have no water. I have no food. I have no electricity. I have none of those things. And I'm being evicted right now. Tell me where I can go.
But I will stay after testimony to talk to you.
Thank you.
Where can you go? I don't know the answer to that, but I will stay after testimony to talk to you.
I appreciate that.
And we've got 2 more minutes.
But I would like the council to take that up. They're putting money in the pockets of people who are not. In fact, the Office to End Homelessness was here today. They knew nothing about the evictions. They had they had nothing at all. And it's just insane.
Councilmember Ellison, I want to point out.
Just let us get
the
through the
homeless
list.
hotline, after those 3 evictions last week, we called, there was not a single bed to be had in the county.
Ms. Are you
I
mistaken?
want you to know that.
Or to Matt on a church.
And you go ahead, baby, you just talk, because
Can we
they need to
please
listen.
all, everyone here in this room, just take 33 seconds of silence for all that we have lost, but for all that we can gain? Please.
Listen.
First of all, my name is Angelique Marie Bowmaster, and I met 2 of you I know personally for sure, just recently. First thing I gotta say is, I'm all about facts, not fictions. And the facts are this, right? Where that young gentleman was up here saying they offer places to put your belongings and stuff like that. It is fiction, because the facts are only today, less than an hour before I met you guys, is the first time that was ever offered to any of us, and that's not okay. Second of all, I was told by the not the police department, but your security, just yesterday, that we had permission to be on that side of the city hall. By the way, I have it all recorded and documented. He came out and was giving me heck for absolutely no reason, but that we had permission to be on that side where the light rail was. Another fact is, do what you say. Bottom line, good, bad, right or wrong, if you can't make it happen, tell somebody you can't make it happen. I know for facts that me and probably, I don't know, 24 other people helped out. We'll go all the way back to the park board, okay? And then it's the city's problem, then it's the county's problem, then it's the state's problem. It's all of our problem. This is everybody's problem. And something, there needs to be a change. Maybe the change could be these people over here thinking they know everything. Maybe they should come down to earth and speak and engage with people and actually let them, you know what I mean, help us, help you, so we can have a better future for everyone. I mean, you guys understand that? Help us, help you guys for a better tomorrow. It's not about typically me or my children, but my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. A change needs to happen, you know, and I want to discard a bunch of like Vivo and whoever else. I know for facts they don't do their job.
Is
I know
Pat
for
Means
facts
here?
they don't do their job.
Please,
This is
you're
what else I
next,
know.
ma'am.
You guys are kicking us all out when we're up here? Are you kidding me?
I'd like Ms. Means to have an
Are
opportunity.
you kidding me?
Then she'll be eating
You
into your
invite
time.
us here to throw us away?
Ms. Goodman, please
Ms.
understand.
Means, do you have something
Please
you'd like to
sympathize
say?
with us.
The email that
Please
Ray
sympathize
Garnet
with us.
Petrucci
We're
sent
not
you
going to
all
be
the
debating
ones
with you,
that
Ms. Means. Do you want to
We're
speak?
the ones that's been kicked out.
Lies.
The resources that the
Please
people at the
don't run this
North Loop encampment had to make money, you guys stole, and nobody will tell us where they are. Okay, these were resources that had 10 people doing lawns, doing snow removal, everything, and nobody can tell us where they are. And why is that?
My property, everything I own is looking there.
Why is the county, the city, the state asking me to peacefully help with these encampment enclosures? But then again, they can steal and rob. That's right. What is this doing to
That's right,
everyone?
and I might add that there has been a ruling in an ACLU lawsuit that tells the city you may not steal these people's property, and yet it continues day in and day out with every encampment shut down.
Ms.
How
Means,
do
did
you
you,
break
Ms. Means,
rules
How
did
is
you,
it safe for people to sleep on
Did
the
you wanna
streets
give your
as opposed to being in an
testimony?
encampment? This is
How do they break
nonsense.
rules that they make?
Y'all just keep returning to the same strategies handling this issue instead of coming to the table with the community. You do not listen to the community who actually have real-world solutions for this because they're in it, they live it, and you don't want to listen. How can you, and to the sir that was speaking earlier, how can you judge undignified when you give nothing and destroy everyone's belongings? Why do you spend money on fences and loudspeakers and all these anti-homeless measures? Like all the leaning benches, the bobcats, everything, hundreds of thousands on these evictions on encampments that we pay for.
Yes.
I do not want to pay for genocide on my fucking neighbors. It's genocide. It's acts of genocide. This is stolen land. The majority of homeless people are people of color, indigenous. This is not.
Got this.
You guys just give placating words. Well, we'll take care of it. We're gonna do this. This is what we're gonna do. And then you come back out in the street violently. People are dead because of your fucking actions. Blood is on your hands. People's bloods are on your hands.
It's amazing how they have a shortage of Minneapolis police, but never a shortage of people.
so I'm committed to staying after, I'm committed to staying after we, and I want to listen to every single one of you guys that are down here. Thank you guys for coming here today. I also want to make sure that quorum, that we make sure that these here are some of the upstream solutions. It's not everything, by no means is it everything, but I want to make sure that we move this, and after we move this, I am committed to staying here and listening to everybody that's here.
But what you
And so
know
I'm,
is once you
I'm
have
going to
a
make the
quorum,
motion
these
to,
folks won't be on TV and it won't be out to the public.
I mean, but that'll happen no matter what if we lose quorum. And so I want to make sure that I'm going to make the motion to move item 9.
I'm on the list.
I'm going to make the motion to move item 9, and then I will come and listen to the rest. And I'll ask the clerks to call the roll. I want to make sure we get through this before we lose quorum, because then testimony will be over either way.
I signed in.
So I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll, but I am going to come down and stay after.
Councilmember Rainville.
2 minutes.
Councilmember Ellison.
Aye.
Protesting,
Councilmember Chavez.
Right now.
tell them to not do that.
Tell them to not do that. Demand a complete moratorium on evictions immediately.
Councilmember Chugtai.
Would it hurt you to hear one last person that did sign up? Come on.
Chair Goodman.
Aye.
There are 5 ayes.
That motion is approved. Seeing no further business before us, we are adjourned.
Please stay.
Simeon?
Why did you end the meeting?
Why do you have to continue?
crap.
Please continue. My name is Simeon Aiken. I live in Ward 6. I helped organize a supply drive yesterday to meet legitimately. We did yesterday, in one day, more than the city of Minneapolis and all of these upstream solutions the city of Minneapolis has done in a month, in a year. And I know that because I've been talking to the people that live here now. They live here now. What are you going to do about that? You can't keep moving people. And development and coordination and people that can't answer a simple question, even though they come here with a million complicated words to supposedly do so, is not only counterproductive, it's wasteful. I pay taxes here. I'm thankfully give people free, public, accessible, low barrier housing now.
Non-sober.
Yeah. We demand, we have one demand.
Sit down. I thought you were saying. He's still speaking. Where are you going?
This is showing you why we cannot get this solution. Fucking even and not even listen to the community.
Listen to the people. Our lives.
You know, this is why, because my council member is a lazy asshole who doesn't do shit for the community, unless you're a goddamn developer, okay? If you're a developer, come over here and suck at her damn teeth, because that's what she's about. But if you're with the community, she don't give shit about you, and she's been that way this whole time. Rainville, yet another one that doesn't give shit about the community. Let's be real. I'm sorry, I like you guys, but let's be real. These people that are the real power of the council do not give a damn.
You know what?
All they want to do is hand money to Hennepin County, who doesn't want to do the shit they're supposed to do, ever.
You know what?
They have these tiny-ass programs that serve a tiny number of people. In the meantime, our Minneapolis police are getting paid huge amounts of money to go and uproot people on a daily. Where are these people supposed to sleep? Leave them the hell alone.
You know what? We
Stop
see.
paying
You know what?
Minneapolis police to do
We
this
see
shit.
what's going on. It's like history repeating itself over and over again. That's all we have to do: but organize, get mobilized.
That's right.
And we can vote these people out of office. That's all. Because all this stuff, it's like we're just repeating itself again. They know what's going on.
She does
They
know
know
what's
exactly what's going on. So the only thing we can do is get mobilized,
I'll never forget.
get online, vote them out of office. Start if you got to vote Republicans, hell, vote
But honey,
Republicans.
we
We got to
need
get them out of
solutions
office.
sooner.
So they're not going to, you know what? They're not going to give us
It
solutions.
would take a phone call
They ain't
from
gonna touch
Andrew Jenkins or a phone done the most.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the people with the power left the damn room, okay? I walked into the mayor's office and I'd say, you know, they're beating the hell out of us in here. They're beating us down because we can't have solutions. Tell your goddamn cops to stop harassing and evicting people without this. Tell us now.
1 hour with the mayor?
Yes. They can't even get an hour with the mayor, what you talking about?
We can all certainly try.
No,
seriously. With the mayor.
Mr. Strong Mayor, you know, who's weak as hell hiding under his damn desk.
People are going to get their voice heard, and the same for who's ever supposed to be telling the police what to do.
So you're saying that you can't make it happen? Then
That's true. Who do we talk to?
Because eviction moratorium is like the main thing we're asking for right now.
That's
Well,
it.
it's a good first step. What are the steps you can take to make it happen?
Can you tell Hennepin
And related
Security
to
to stop?
eviction
Like, they're right here
moratorium,
in the
we'll be
room.
providing the appropriate services in those encampments, so it's not whatever this man said, oh, terrible, undignified, and dirty, and whatever, all that crap. It's a lot more undignified to have all your crap stolen from you, and you're walking through the streets with no damn where to sleep, okay? So let's give people the services they need at the encampments. If you don't like to see encampments, build more of these buildings and put people in them, okay? The solution to the unsheltered homelessness, build some fucking housing for people. You know, and I recognize that the three of you listening, and I appreciate you listening.
Thank you.
I'm not beating
I
up
do
on
as
you.
well.
I'm trying to tell you what we think the solutions are, okay?
I hear you.
And there's short-term and long-term. The short-term is stop these damn moratoriums and give people the services they need. Stop these damn evictions and give people the services they need within the encampments.
And when we say
And those are the simplest things, the city can do that right now. They
Yes.
can literally do it right now.
we did it yesterday. We did it yesterday. When we say give people the things that they need.
Right now.
Yeah, when we say give people the things they need, we're not saying give them recommendations for somebody who could possibly give them a flyer with a long URL and a .org at the end. We're saying
When people
give
don't
them
have phones and
food,
computers.
give them water, give them a place to go, whether it's a
Give them a
building or
bathroom,
not.
give them
We're
a-
saying meet the needs. We showed you how to do it for 25 hours yesterday. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Fuck these resources, fuck these acronyms, fuck these organizations. They are not working, they're wasting their money. That is how you meet the needs of the people.
We never see these
It's a
people
simple
every day
thing.
that they funded,
Get some
we never
porta
see them
potties,
in
get
our
some
community.
sanitation stations.
I have
Get some,
one thing
you
to
know,
say.
just leave it
Every
alone.
single time they evict, they have the same excuse. They say, the homeless outreach team, the city, whoever it is, they went over, they offered services. They offered services to this many people, to this many people. That's all they say. They have no fucking statistics. If people are being offered services, the same people, by the way, who every single, like, it's the same people getting evicted every other week. If they're, like, if these services are being offered every single time and the same fucking people are not being housed, something is wrong with the services, not the people. And every single time, the city is blaming the people.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Something that you could do is hold these people, I don't know if you're the person that spoke earlier, you are, these people accountable for the lies that they came up here, blatant lies, and said
Where's
that
the proof?
people reach out to
Do they
them.
have
That is
pictures?
bullshit.
What do
The
they
cops
have?
don't let people in at all. And anybody who's allowed to go in there has a paper that means nothing. So hold these people accountable. Well, I appreciate that you tried to get this guy to answer a question. I wish
Couldn't
you would.
answer a damn thing.
But you could check in. You could send him an email every goddamn day and say, hey, how many people went to this eviction?
Yeah.
Look, I'll say these systems are big. The staff that were up here earlier, that were up here earlier talking to you guys, these are people that I trust and get answers from, right? And so I don't want to disparage staff. They're up here doing their jobs. They're up here following the direction that they get from, from the mayor's office, from their department leads, all that kind of stuff. And so I want to make sure that when we get up here that we're not, disrespecting the folks who do the day-to-day work of.
No, we should disrespect. We should disrespect.
I want to make sure that I want to make sure that I'm not, but I think that your frustration's valid, but I want to make sure that I'm not.
That it is to be sleeping in an encampment has got it wrong. I'm not talking about him personally, I'm not,
Sure.
you don't need to.
Yep.
I don't know the man, I don't know his name, I don't even know any of that. But a person that sits there and tells you that having nowhere to be, having no possessions, and wandering the streets, and sleeping curled up in a doorway in a sidewalk is more dignified than being in an encampment with support from other people is full of shit. Sorry, he is full of shit.
I don't think that was his intention, but I understand what you guys.
No, that's exactly what he said.
I believe Saray was here, right? She left.
She left the second the meeting ended. And she's the one who always says they offered services. And that's what puts her to sleep at night.
And she put those 3 images at the bottom of the email. The third one was not even from that day. The second one was from a tent that had not been touched in months. And the first is from a guy who had to leave his RV in 5 minutes. So she's deliberately making you all not identify with these people in these encampments. And one of the subcontractors clearing the encampment said, this is the cleanest encampment that I've seen. Usually there's needles, and I cannot believe that they are clearing this encampment. And he was like, as they were gingerly removing this gentleman's rep generator.
And the reason they cleared it is so that they could do a development there. It's all about the damn developers, y'all. Y'all know it by now. Who runs the fucking city? The goddamn developers. Who runs Lisa Goodman and Michael Rainville? The goddamn developers.
When you get
Never a question about it. They do the bidding of the Downtown Business Council and the developers, and they don't give a shit about the rest of us. And that's a fact, including me, who lives in Goodman's district. I'll never forget, she called me over to her house right after George Floyd was killed. Ooh, boo-hoo, I never paid attention to you. I didn't know this was gonna happen. You're a goddamn liar, Lisa Goodman, and everybody fucking knows it. You never did a fucking thing out. All you did was cry on my goddamn shoulder, and you haven't done shit since then.
One thing that you can do today, reply to that email with those photos on it and say you are dehumanizing human beings. Anytime you get an email like that,
If that's how you
anytime
feel,
see
if that's how you
propaganda about
feel.
that, anytime you see shit like that, with
Call it out for
your
what it
title,
is.
with
Call it
your
out.
office going out to the media, you say, stop, this is not going out, this is
If that's how you
dehumanizing.
feel.
Right, and then
We do not
Don't be
dehumanize.
no-
And the very
Be
next thing you
yourself.
ought to do after that is
Because
write
we
an
put you
email
in office
to
to
the
be
mayor
yourself.
and to the Minneapolis Police,
That's what we want.
interim chief Huffman, and tell him, stop fucking closing down the encampments.
Yeah.
Stop it now. We are not gonna waste any more cop resources on shutting down encampments and arresting people because they have nowhere to be.
You know what, Keith Ellison and the council, thank you so much for actually hearing us out.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I understand, because on behalf of me and Gloria, I mean, you know, things need to be done. Things need to be changed. You know, we know things can be changed overnight. Okay, overnight at all. When it's all said and done, when it's all said and done, we can hoop and holler, they can shut down the encampment. What we have to do as people has to mobilize, organize.
That's
Because
what we are doing. That's what we do.
and we gotta live like that. At the end of the day, they going home to their beds. They going home to their nice little neighborhood. Everybody they getting big salaries a month. So by us sitting here, that's all we doing is beating our heads at the table. See, because we still getting the same. Listen, that's all we getting the same results. The only thing we said our piece. It's time for us to take it to the actual streets, mobilize, organize, get rid of it. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, actually, I have one really quick thing, and it's just for consideration. It's a possible solution. I was just in Juneau, Alaska. Long story, but they rely heavily on tourism for their entire economy, basically. Now, their entire city population is literally 1/100th of our metropolitan. But they found that people sleeping and living on the streets negatively affects tourism. And they have come to an agreement and understanding that they have a city-funded and sanctioned encampment. It's got porta potties, it's got resources, it's accessible. I'm disabled. Everyone in these encampments is disabled. Every one of them, pretty much.
100%.
You know, could be a psych disability, but I'm 6 months behind. I'm gonna be in a goddamn encampment myself. So, excuse me. So that's why we're here today. We want answers, we want solutions, we want ideas, and not people running out on us. The Public Information Office wouldn't return my call. I'm out of breath, as you can see. And then this is what happens when we come to the place that all of them tell us to come to.
That's right.
Tell us to come
And
to-
even
Sorry to
some
repeat
public
myself from earlier,
hearings,
too.
and then they tell us we can't participate in their sanctioned public hearing, and then she'll decide if we get to talk to at the all. This is some bullshit. We should have never fallen for that, and I apologize to the community for falling for it, because I was trying to be courteous to these business owners or whatever, right? But we should have just said, hell with you, we're gonna take over the damn public hearing. Because then she would have had to sit there and listen to us instead of running out the damn door.
You were talking about Great River Landing specifically?
Yeah, and so.
Yeah.
You have a moment? And I hate to, I
And
don't want to
our
cut you
lawyer
guys
is
short, but
the legal counsel for those
Okay.
guys in Great River Landing, just so you know.
Okay, because I would love to connect with you real quick, and then I am running out of time. I don't want